The air along the golf course was eerily silent, devoid of the usual rustle of parrots or the hum of insects that typically filled the dusk. The stillness was thick and expectant, the air heavy with the smell of damp earth and the distant sound of a lone cricket. As I walked, the gravel underfoot seemed to echo unnaturally, each step feeling wrong, like the sound wasn't echoing correctly, or maybe wasn't echoing at all. Then the bush rustled again, this time closer and heavier. I spun to my right, and there it was, the white figure, half concealed behind a thick eucalyptus. Its surface had no texture, like paper soaked in milk. No face, no limbs, just the hint of shoulders and a head. My knees buckled at the sight. It hadn't moved, but it felt like it had noticed me. Behind me, Matt was shouting again, telling me to hurry up. I could barely hear him. My ears were roaring with static, not a sound in the world except the crunch of something else's footstep, opposite mine, matching me. Like it knew how I moved, I turned and ran so fast my chest felt like it would burst. I didn't even realize I was crying until I tripped and skidded onto the path. They thought I was messing with them until they saw the look on my face. And then, when we saw it again, they couldn't deny it. We must have stood there 10 minutes watching the tree line. It didn't move, but we could feel it as a pressure behind our eyes. The longer we looked, the more distorted everything seemed. The trees swayed wrong. The horizon, curved like a fish-eye lens, was warping the whole world. Then the laughter started again. Not a bird, not distant, close, right at the edge of the course. It came in short bursts like hiccups, happy, hungry. Matt raised his phone again. Still nothing. It was as if the figure had been digitally erased. But then, movement. It stepped from behind the tree. We didn't breathe. None of us moved. The figure was tall and slender, its arms too long, dragging at its sides. There were no joints, just angles. Its sickly white, almost translucent skin seemed to glow in the moonlight. And then it tilted its head. We were frozen in terror, our hearts pounding in our chests, unable to comprehend what we were witnessing. And then it tilted its head. Not just turned, tilted, like it was studying us, judging. My body screamed to run, but I couldn't. The sound of leaves crunching as it stepped closer was the only thing I could register. One step, another, still silent otherwise. Even the wind stopped. Tom screamed first. He bolted back down the path. Matt grabbed my wrist. We ran. But the thing didn't chase us. It just stood, slowly raising one arm as if pointing. We didn't stop until we reached Will's back gate. We climbed over it without looking back. Inside, we locked every door and every window. Sat in his room, light off, curtains shut. I could still feel its eyes, or whatever it used in place of eyes. Later that night, I woke up to the sound of tapping. Not loud, just rhythmic, like fingernails on glass. I didn't tell the others. I just lay still, staring at Will's ceiling, and waited for morning. In the days after, we swore not to talk about it. But now, over a year later, I still hear the laughter sometimes. Worse, last week, I saw something at the edge of my backyard, just standing, watching. My phone didn't capture anything. The memory of that encounter still haunts me, a constant reminder of the unknown horrors that lurk in the shadows. I find myself constantly looking over my shoulder, jumping at every sound, and feeling a chill down my spine at every shadow. But I know what I saw, and it reminds me too. That night, sleep eluded us. Every time I closed my eyes, The image of that figure, white and faceless, standing at the edge of the trees would haunt me. My mind raced with questions. Was it following us? Watching us from some hidden place? When I finally returned home the next morning, I found myself checking every corner of my backyard. The windows, the mirrors. No place felt safe anymore. Every sound made me jump, and every shadow made me shiver. The fear was consuming me, growing with each passing moment, and the paranoia was becoming overwhelming. At school on Monday, none of us spoke about it. Tom acted like it didn't happen, but he kept tapping his pencil non-stop in math class, and every time someone laughed in the hallway, he flinched. Matt texted me during lunch. "Did you hear it again?" I hadn't, not yet. But on that Friday night, as I walked home from the local footy game, I found myself passing the edge of Glenroy Forest once more. I kept my head down, headphones in, and the music was loud. But in the lull between songs, I heard it. That laughter. Just a single note this time, like a tease. I didn't dare look. I just ran, feeling the weight of the unknown pressing down on me and the futility of my attempts to return to normalcy. That weekend, I convinced Matt to come back to the golf course during the day. We made up an excuse about doing a photography assignment. I brought my dad's old digital camera, nothing fancy, but solid. We walked to the exact spot, the eucalyptus tree, where I had first seen the thing. There was no white figure, no sound, no laughter, just sunlight and a gentle breeze. We stood there for nearly an hour talking in circles. What if we imagined it? What if it was just a prank? We desperately tried to find a logical explanation for what we had experienced, but the more we talked, the more the mystery deepened. But deep down, we both knew the truth. There was no denying it. Right when we turned to leave, Matt stopped. "Wait," he whispered. He pointed up, toward one of the tree branches. There, snagged in the bark, was a strip of something white, thin, fabric or paper. He climbed up a few feet and pulled it loose. It was dry, cold to the touch, and smelled faintly like sulfur. We stared at it. It didn't feel like a normal piece of cloth. It was too smooth, too clean. We decided not to keep it. He dropped it at the base of the tree, but as we turned away, something snapped behind us, like a branch breaking. We sprinted home without looking back. That night, I had a dream. I was standing alone on the path beside the woods. Everything was quiet, too quiet. I looked left toward the trees and saw the figure again. Only this time it was closer, no longer half hidden. It stood in the middle of the golf course, arms limp at its sides. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. It tilted its head slowly and then opened its mouth, though there was no mouth to see. It's just a hole. Vast, black, endless. I woke up screaming. From that night on, I started seeing it more often. Not just near the forest. Sometimes in reflections, store windows, puddles, even the back of a spoon. Just for a second. Just enough to feel insane. And always just me. Matt and the others never saw it again. Once, I was walking home from tutoring when the street lights cut out. One by one, they popped into darkness. I stood frozen as the road dimmed around me. In the final pool of light before total blackness, I saw it again, just standing there, waiting. I turned and ran until my chest burned, my heart rattling like it might break my ribs. I didn't stop until I was on my porch, keys shaking in my hands. I tried to tell my mum once. She listened quietly, then asked if I'd been sleeping okay. I lied. She nodded and made me hot tea. I never brought it up again. Now, a year and a half later, I avoid that path entirely. I walk the long way home. I keep every light on, and I never, ever stop to listen to laughter. But even now, as I write this, I feel it, watching. I saw something I shouldn't have. We all did. But I kept looking, and I think it is like that. Whatever it is, it's not done with me yet.